Hi guys, today we're going to be looking at the very important topic of how can we deal with very strong or very overwhelming emotions during our meditation practice. This is a channel where you can learn the ins and outs of mindfulness practice, get tips and tricks on meditation, and no matter what your level, where you can meditate with me. So thanks for tuning in. If you've been getting anything out of these videos, I would love it if you could subscribe if you haven't already. If you feel like anyone else might as well, go ahead and share my channel with them, please. And regardless, your likes and comments are really appreciated, and they are really a big help to the channel. So thanks so much for supporting me, and I'm sure that we can make this channel to success in no time. So thanks in advance. Diving right into the topic today of what is it that we can do when we're dealing with really difficult emotions. Generally, when we're sitting, we have, kind of normal distracted thoughts. They can be sort of more random, but generally that they're not tinged with too much emotion or intensity. However, when we are dealing with something more of an intense emotional nature, then the instruction changes. When we're just dealing with regular run-of-the-mill thoughts, the instruction is just to bring your mind back gently to the breath, and just to keep doing that repeatedly. And that is really the heart of our meditation practice of being mindful of, or being aware of when we've left our breath, and then slowly do the practice of mindfulness, bringing it back to that breathing. But we might find sometimes that we're not able to do that, or we're overcome with emotion, and it's something that's really intense. We might feel intense rage, or intense sadness, or loneliness, or some combination of any of those, or different emotions. And when you've tried perhaps to bring your thoughts back to breathing and it doesn't work, that I want to make sure that you know what to do in that case, because that is something that we want to be able to integrate and to hold within that container of our meditation. And also it's just, it's a useful tool in terms of processing those feelings and feeling like, maybe they don't control us as much as we might think, or as much as we might have been used to in the past. So there's basically two things we can do, and the first is based on a body technique. The body is really incredible in terms of it's the storehouse of our emotions. We often think that our emotions are something mental and psychological, and they do have aspects of that. But it's actually been studied that emotions are actually housed in the body. If this is something new for you to hear, then just maybe have an open mind to what I'm about to say, and more importantly, just try it and see how you might feel about it. So the way I like to work with emotions is to use the three kind of these three sort of centers of the body, and the first is the face, the second is the chest, and the third is the abdomen. So when we might be feeling this overwhelm of emotion, that see if you can allow yourself, your awareness, and all of that focus that you would have put on your breathing, shift it into your physical space. So touch in. How are you feeling in your face, behind your face, the muscles of your face? What is the kind of texture? What is the sensation? Almost always, it's very difficult to put this stuff into words because the body has its own language, and it's such a rich realm of possibilities that it's difficult to translate that into like, oh, it feels like this or whatever. So the important thing is not that you can verbalize that, but that you feel that. So the same thing for your chest. How are you feeling in your chest? Is it tight? Is there, descriptive words are often the best way we can, talk about this stuff. Does it feel expansive? Does it feel empty? Does it feel, painful? And then lastly, going to our abdomen. And the instruction is not so much to visit all of those three places simultaneously, but generally you're gonna feel that emotion more intensely, in your eyebrows, or in your upper chest, or your lower abdomen. That wherever it is for you, there's gonna be a place that feels a bit more alive, and that you're encouraged to see if you can drop And this is sort of where there is a correlation to the meditation instruction on focusing on the breath, being mindful of the breath, but that, we're gonna drop, as much as we can, we're gonna drop our thoughts about our feeling. And we're going to now focus on that physical sensation, just as we would as if it were the breath. So if there's a story of, she did XYZ to me and that was so terrible and I feel so angry because of that, it's like, okay, see if you can drop that first part of all of that, those words and that history and that story, and instead just go straight to that immediacy of the body. And just being with that sensation, and it might be a bit uncomfortable, or it could be relieving, or both. And probably for a lot of people, this is a new territory. So I really encourage you to go slowly. And definitely, if this is something that you haven't experimented with before, do not go to your most intense emotion in life. Especially if you have trauma or something that is really overwhelming to you right now, don't start there. It is something that you can work up to, but let's work with something maybe a bit smaller, and that is something also that you can do in this sort of learning time. Is there an argument, maybe just something more small, something sillier that maybe you had with a friend, or some kind of tension you might have with a coworker, something like that. So just taking a moment right now to bring up that feeling or that situation, and just feel in your face, feel in your chest, feel in your stomach. Is there somewhere where that is sort of living? And just taking some time just to give all of your focus to that physical feeling. And that said, again, if you're feeling like it's too overwhelming, if something happens where you feel maybe scared or out of control, that drop that practice, come back to your breathing. And the important thing is we're going slowly. We're going at our own pace. And then the second part of this practice, which is a bit built into the first part, but just so that it's clear, is that we're going to drop the original practice while we're attending to these really intense emotions. We're just going to drop that first practice of focusing on the breath, and instead we're attending to just the feeling, and then again using the body now as a kind of a tool to process those feelings. So that's all I have for today for the talk section. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comment section. You can also message me on Instagram directly, but either one I will respond to for sure. Let me know, how did this go? Is it something new to you? Was it scary? Was it enlightening? Was it something enjoyable, or maybe something that you got something out of, or you found a new way maybe to approach these feelings. And that said, we're just going to go ahead and meditate now for about a minute, as we do on our channel. If you're not already sitting, just find your strong seat. Just breathing in and breathing out. If there's still a strong emotion there, that we're putting our focus on our physical body, locating where in the body we might feel that. And if that emotion has passed, we're just returning to our breathing, just normal breathing. Breathing in. And breathing out. When our thoughts pull us away, then we gently come back to the breath. So thank you so much for listening and for practicing with me today. I hope your meditation practice is going well, and I will see you in the next video.